Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Leilu Nishmas Mordche. Listen, last night was unbelievable. The first ever MDY Kids Siyum. It was amazing. Here, let me show you, mishtatev with you some of these videos. Hopefully we have some volume here. On Sukkot, Paishof was out of their house, they go into the Sukkah, and all of a sudden it rains. What is that? Siman? Very good. Siman full. Wow. Full house, not a seat available. And here we have the MDY kids, nice and loud. I love how they run towards the Siyum. Okay. And here, look at the simcha. Look at the simcha in the kids' faces. Happens to be my kid, all the way on the left, and Avi's kid. And the Messiah is in the center. That kid did it. He read it beautifully. Wow, no mistakes. And here's my brother from another mother doing the triple thing. It's unbelievable. The covered Purim. In a hall. Proper Siyum. Question Zara. Where were you, Whatever. Mazel tov to the RBS kids on your Siyum Megillah. Bezer Hashem should be zoich to many more. See attached a picture of our Muncie MDY Kids event. They kicked it off in Muncie last night. Boys and fathers braved the inclement weather, snow, to get together and begin Masechtas Tainas. Over there, it's a lot different. It's not like the kids just walk the shul. Over there, you have to drive them everywhere. It's miles away. And Yashikoyach to Moe Landy, Shloima Goldenberg, and Menachem Weinreb for helping out. Special shout out to Reb Yossi Klein for his guest appearance. Looking forward to having Reb Eli grace us sometime, whatever it says that. This is from the Mechaber of the MDY Megillah, Mark Weinreb. Velvi Engel, Yishkoyach Gadol. Wow, special. Thank you. Was it outside the house or inside? So, okay, Yishkoyach. I think I almost brought it, but I pressed the elevator and then whatever. 5th grade Hebrew Academy, Cleveland, Rabbi Elias class, doing the daily good morning, Rabbi Isai. Here we go.
Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Oh, that's got a little better. Good morning, Rabbi Isai.
Okay. So, I got a number. I had a rare treat of being able. Now, you know what you just did to me, Mendy? The whole shir is going to be alapanim now. I don't need to hear these auras. I had a rare treat of being able to watch part of the shir live while traveling. Thank you for going over the Prato cloud topics, the visuals, and Fischl, of course. Were very helpful in solidifying my understanding of the different contexts. We're sitting here right next to Reb Fischl, who flew in special for the Siyum, who brought with him 100 specially designed sweatshirts, MDY kids, official mitzvah motivators. He tried to steal the whole thing. He put his mitzvah motivators in the front, MDY kids in the back, whatever. Next time I'm taking care of those sweatshirts, official.
I can send you the bill for this one if you want.
If you can switch it out, no problem. Thanks, Nachum Horowitz. We were very helpful in solidifying my understanding of the context. The Dear Reb Eli, yesterday's Daf and Klal Prat, Ribi Miyot, was super clear. The progressive charts they did, especially with examples of food steak, was really helpful. This is the first time I've managed to make perfect sense of it. Genius. Michael Kashi, London, Talmud Sitz Psachim. Hi, Reb Eli, just wanted to say thank you on yesterday's shir. You put in such clarity, Klal Prat. Like never before, your Talmud Chassid from Borough Park, Moshe Oshri. The one that started with your shir after reading your interview in the Moment magazine. Moment magazine was the one that Rabbi Turgeman was on the front cover. It's in Yiddish, yeah. Perry Dubinsky, thank you so much for making an effort to realize Nazir shir. As controversial as it may be, the Nazir, your effort to extend to your Talmidim by all means by which we can learn is admirable and appreciated. I can't wait to see you bring to your shir for Saita and Avodah Zarah. Best regards from sunny Miami, Perry. Not the first one that said that joke. We're working on it. Just wanted to give you a huge shekayach for explaining Klal Prat. One of my favorite episodes, he writes in bold, episodes. Thus far, I've been saying this and davening for years and finally got a clear understanding of what it really means. Thanks to your charts. Perhaps you can make a video with charts explaining the rest of the 13 klalim. Now, as I mentioned already, 8 of the 13 is what we learned yesterday. It's all in there. So if you look closely, you'll see a lot, not all 8, but a lot of the 13 is what we learned yesterday. My only issue is now I'm going to be focused on all different types of food for the rest of the day. The next time my wife asks me what I want for dinner and how to best explain that, I want a steak. First I say I want a wagyu steak, prat. Then I want a stam steak, klal, then a wagyu again. There's no confusion in fan. By the way, he's a little off. I just noticed it now. I don't want to be a nitpicker, but in the klal, in the prat, klal, prat, the 2 prats are different. One is steak, one is schnitzel. Okay, fine. It doesn't hurt to say the same thing twice. You're fan, huh? I think if he says wagyu steak twice, I think it's all over. I'm just thinking now, because now he says twice the same thing. If you say a general like steak and then you say at the end schnitzel, now I could debate what he really meant. Anonymous from boys, I have bad news for the oilum. Best Jim Gabe. I'll tell you the bad news in a second. The weather outside today was very cold and rainy. Best way to warm up is a warm fire in today's daf. Jeffrey Rosenberg from the Chabura of 1 in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Is it really 1? I thought there were more. The koilel is sponsored by Anon Ymous from Lakewood. The second koilel is sponsored by supporting Torah. Huh? Who? Really? Shalom Aleichem. It's first time here? You were here, brachas, no? Sachem? It seems like forever. Okay. Is he really the only guy in Harrisburg? Is he the only one in Harrisburg, you think? He has to open up a WhatsApp group, and eventually more people will start, even though he's the only one. Huh? Text yourself enough times. Right, exactly. Just text yourself enough times. The second sponsor of the Koil by supporting Torah strengthen our bitachon. By the way, Avi, do we have any updates on the live, on the international Zoom? No, right now. We don't want to talk about it now. Nobody showed up on it? Objection. The Masechta is sponsored by Maaser. The second sponsor of the Masechta is Leilu, Nishmas, Chava and Ephraim by Casper. All I know is, even if it didn't go off well, if it did go off, it was just a soft start launch, and the real one, with all the kinks ironed out, is going to be right after Pesach Be'ezer Hashem. The third sponsor of the month, the Nishmas, Moshe ben Yehuda, by his community. He was a Holocaust survivor. He was almost 100 years old. Anon Ymous from Flatbush for continued mazel, bracha, and clarity. By Chava and Ephraim Casper, in honor of our children and grandchildren. YK for the Nazir 11 vid clip. Sabba Savta. Okay. The yahrzeit of Moshe ben Amram. Rabbi said today is Zayin Adar. The yahrzeit of Moshe ben Amram, Moshe Rabbenu. It's also the chasana of my Rebbe, Rabbi Didi Kramer. Tonight is my chasana. Yeah, it's kilo, it's his son. Stephen Weiss, Leilu Nishmas, Freda, Bas Yosef, Aryalei, Baleh Shalom, Moe Landy, Shloima, Yisrael Chaim ben Freda, Phil Byrne, Nishmat, my great grandfather's 54th yahrzeit, Oscar Klein, Yosef ben Avram, Justin Ivry. Thank you, Reb Eli, for the enormous effort and energy that you put into the shir every day. Yishkoyach Justin. Shprintzy and Alan Gross, the birthday boy. Alan is 50, like one of these days. Yesterday, today, I don't remember when. In honor of the birth of our first granddaughter born to our children, Binyomin and Elana. First one, Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov to Riva and Daniel Tarabello on their wedding anniversary. I guess this is a comment from yesterday because they put it in for him. Art of the month for a complete refuah for Chaim Tzvi Ben Leah. Rabbi, here we go. Tremendous daf today. The very bad news is that the sugya of Klal Pratu Klal is over. Completely over. It's devastating. And we're going to embark on a beautiful sugya of heter mitztaref le'isser. Very, very simple stuff. And it happens to be that if you're with us from Psachim, this entire daf was in Psachim word for word. The Belzer says it's the only time in Shas that a full daf. Were you with us from Psachim? It wasn't like that during Psachim. There's a new development. So he says it's the only time in Shas, a full daf. Okay. So let's see. Says the Gemara, Bavo, Omer Rabbi Yochanan, Kol Yisurin Shabbat Torah Ein Heter Mitztaref Lisur. If you take a half a kezayis of chaylev that's osir to eat, and combine it with a half a kezayis of shuman that's mutter to eat, and you put them together and you eat them, if it doesn't have a kezayis in the isur, just because together it's a kezayis, you're not over. Chutz misurei nazir. Besides, when it comes to nazir, shari omer Torah mishras. So here's mishras. Now I'm going to take this stuff out. I have a lot of stuff today. Whoa. This, I have to take this and this. I have a mishras. Here's a cup. I'm a Nazir. Well, I shouldn't say that because now it might be. Is there a rabbi in the house? This is also for me to drink had I been a Nazir. This, for argument's sake, is less than a kezayis. Less. So I go like this. I mishras it in good, fuse it, and now together with it, it's about to drop in there. I have a kezayis. And if I eat it, I'm over because it says in the pasuk mishras. It's infused. It's soaked in there. The grapes are soaked into the bread. Now it's a tremendous chiddush. There's only a half a kezayis of grape juice of whatever of wine and a half a kezayis of bread. Together I have a full kezayis. Okay, next. Well, I do want to point out the Rosh. The Rosh says that it's even in this case. Over here, I have a piece of bread that's less than a kezayis, and I have grapes. And these have nothing to do with this. They're not attached even. So this together is a kezayis. And I'm over if I do this. This is what the Rosh says. Sorry, you can have it, official. You're a nice guy, I'll let you have it. So this was, the other day we had it like this. Okay, fine. Mishras. Shari Amra Torah Mishras. Should I take this down? Put it over here. What do I have here? Oh, that's it. Okay. Says the Gemara in Daf Lamed Vav Amud Aleph. Ziri Omar Af Sa'or B'Bal Taktiru. So that's before I decided to go live on it. Okay. This is our Mizbeach. Really need to get one of those. The guy wanted like $500 for that model. We should get one. Oh yeah, $1,000? Okay, but listen, for a prop, you get a prop. Mizbeach, you don't stop using it. I used it last night in Tainus. Okay. Now, we're talking about doing kmitza. The kohen puts his hand like this into the flour, takes out 3 fingers worth, and puts it on the mizbeach. The Torah says, "Kol amincha shetakriv l'Hashem lo yisiyasa chometz, ki chol sa'or v'chol dvash." Sa'or is chometz, v'chol dvash and honey lo yisaktiru v'menu yishel Hashem. So you can't put chometz on the mizbeach. Ziri holds that in order to be over, you need a kezayis. You need a shear of a kezayis. So, if I have a half a shear of chametz and a half a shear of, I'm not going to call it matzah, whatever. You know what I mean? Non-chametz wheat product and chametz wheat product, and I combine them together, a half a kezayis of this, let's say, and a half a kezayis of that, and I put it on the mizbeach, I'm over. Now we're going to see soon, Abaya holds, even a nothing of chametz, you over the issur d'oraisa. So there's no chiddush here. But if you hold like Zir that you need a full kezayis, I can combine the issur with the heter, a half of kezayis of issur, a half of kezayis of heter, put them together, put them on the mizbech, and I'm over. Kiman. So if you look over here in this pasuk, chametz kichol sa'ir v'chol dvash. Kichol. Reb Eliezer the Darish kol. So without going crazy into it, he says ki. Comes to tell us even a mixture. Kol means even some of it. So it goes according to Reb Eliezer. Reb Eliezer darshans the word kol. Ask the Gemara, what? By me it says Reb Eliezer. Yeah, right. That according to Ziri says, what do you guys have? Lazar. Arch says a Lazar. So we go with the Arch. A Lazar. The Darish called. Ihachi asked the Gemara, check this out. You were looking at this pasuk by a krav of the carbon of a mincha. It says kichal. But guess what? It says kichal, oichel machmetzes, v'nichus hanefesh, by chametz it also says those two words, kichal. Yachi liyan chametz nami, there should be the idea of a half a piece of chametz, a half a gezayis of chametz, and non-chametz, you should be over on Pesach. It says Gemara Enochanami. You're right. So how come it wasn't mentioned? He wanted to come and say that Abai is wrong. Abai says the Amar Yeshak Torah b'pachas mikazayis. I'm over on the Isser of putting something on the mizbeach even less than a kazayis. I'm telling you, no. You need a full kazayis. But if you do a half a kazayis of the chametz and a half a kazayis of the matzah and put them together and put them on the mizbeach, you're also over. But you need at least the kazayis. Kumash malon in Torah b'pachas mikazayis. I don't want to mix people up. I want to tell them my halacha plus say another thing that Abai is wrong. He said over Rabbi Yochanan that the heter is mitzaref to the isur, the wine is mitzaref to the bread, and it creates a full kezayis when it comes to a Nazir. Okay, so Boisai here, I want to introduce to you something very special. Very excited about this actually. I do want to also mention that, all those emails, I got more. I got from Mayor Planka from Toronto. He sent me a text message that he's never understood the sugya. Other people. But just behind the scenes a little bit. Yoshi worked on a thing. I didn't tell him what to work on. And he started working on this shopping cart thing. Took him a long time. 10 o'clock at night, he showed me a little bit at night. 10 o'clock at night, I said, no. We got to go in a different direction. We got to go in a simpler steak direction. I told him about the steak. No problem. Without fighting, nothing. He's a very nichdik person. Started working at 10 o'clock. He wasn't done until 1:32 in the morning. And then last night also, same kind of thing. Got a very late start after the scene was over. And I told him what I would like. And Rabbi said, this is what he came up with from after approximately 10 o'clock last night. He sent it to me, I'm not exaggerating, after 3 in the morning. So that's the kind of hours that he's putting in. His wife is not happy about it. She had a little meeting with me the other day. I'm not kidding. We have to be more on top of it. But this is what he did, because I really wanted the Olam to walk away with a little bit of understanding of Tum and Tahara, because it's another topic that a lot of people psychologically check out of the sugya. A lot of the old timers are very, very familiar with Tum and Tahara. It's nothing for them. But the new guys, Tum and Tahara, check. So don't check out. I'm going to show you why. This is the original chart, okay? We're not going to go into this chart, and you don't have to worry about this chart. But just to show you real quickly, the way Tumah works is that it starts with the highest level of Tumah, Avi Avaisa Tumah, which is a dead body. If you touch that dead body, you drop a level. You become Avatum. If you touch that person that's Avatumah, you drop a level. That person that touched the person that touched the dead body becomes a Rishon. And the person that touched the person that touched the person becomes a Sheni. It keeps on dropping levels. So it starts out with Avi Avaisa Tumah. It goes down to Avatuma, to Rishon, to Sheni, to Shlishi, Revi, Chamishi, Shishi, Shvi. When it comes to Paraduma, we're not going to go into that. It really stops, let's say, at Shlishi, Revi, fine. But every level, you lose power. Tuma is like it's like electricity. It's like a disease. It's contagious. So you touch it, you become sick. But one less madrega. The patient 0 is the most infectious, and then the next one is less and less. Okay. So with that being said, if you look closely, and I'm gonna show it to you in a more of a animation. But what happens is, the halacha is, I'll tell you to about peh, we'll see it in animation, we'll see it in the Gemara. What happens is, if a person is tamei, and you see over here, a sheretz is not a avi avos atuma. Sheretz is only av atuma. He starts off a dead rat or dead lizard, turtle. The Shmona Shrasim, they start off one level less than a dead body. So if a person touches a sheretz, what does he become? A rishon. He becomes one less than av atuma. So let's say a person touches a rat, and he's tamei, so he goes to the mikvah to get rid of his tumah. What happens when he comes out of the water? He's a tvul yom. He's not completely tahar, but his tumah drops. And it drops so much that if he touches regular fruit, nothing happens to that fruit. He doesn't make them tamei. But if he touches fruit that's truma, that's designated for the kayin, you hear, Danny? If a guy that touches a sheretz touches your fruit, or Rabbi Schoenberg's fruit, you can't eat it anymore. It becomes puzzle. It becomes a shlishi. If you look at the chart, you'll see it says full yom. The third man standing up, where by Sheni, in the line of Sheni, he's a full yom. And if he touches a fruit, that fruit becomes a shlishi. And all that is puzzle. Now, I'd like to introduce you to this beautiful slide animation that Yoshi did till 3 a.m. for the Olam. Here we go. Now, if you notice, he's green around him because he's tar. Once he touches the sheretz, he becomes red around him. He has a halo, and he becomes a rishon. Why does he become a rishon? Because he touched avatuma. So he goes down one madrega. We'll do this again one more time afterwards. And now he's going to touch a fruit that has a green halo around him. What happens? The fruit becomes tamei, becomes a sheni. Why does the fruit become a sheni? Because he's a rishon. So it goes down one madrega. Now he keeps on going. He goes into the mikvah. Here goes. He's a rishon, goes into the mikvah with the strimel. He comes out barefoot, tvul yom, with the bathroom. Okay? Now, the tvul yom. Here we go. Now we have two types of fruit. We have chulin and we have truma. He comes and he touches the chulin, the tvul yom touches the chulin. What happens? Nothing. He continues and he touches the truma. What happens? It becomes a purple. It becomes a shlishi. I think we have to see this again. Huh? A tvul yom is a person who's tamei, who went to the mikvah, but he has to wait until shkia. He has to wait until erev shemesh, until the sun goes down. Then he becomes completely tar. Until he becomes completely tar, it's an in-between state that if he touches the truma, like you see on the screen, let's do it. Is it over here? No. But I did that. Hold on. Let me start over here. Okay. Here we go. Rabbi said one more time. I'm going to go quickly. The sheretz is red. Notice that Yossi, this is all who? Yossi Klein. Yossi Klein is green. He's tar. As soon as he touches it, why? That's what Yoshi asked me. Givaldige kasha. Yeah, it was in the sewer. He continues. Now he's a rishon. He touches the fruit that's tar. The fruit becomes a sheni. Then he continues on to the mikveh. Whee! This took until 3:30 in the morning. What was kedai? No. Now he's at full yom, and he goes and he touches chulin. Nothing happens. But if he touches truma, because he's in this in-between state of tvul yom, the truma becomes puzzle. The kohen can't eat it. It becomes a shlishi. Givaldik. We could use it throughout Shas. Tvul yom. This is a little bit of my dream coming true of animating Shas a little bit. He's only getting better every day and whatever. Okay, fine. Next. Says the Gemara, Hamikvah shel truma So check this out. We have porridge, we have a daisa, whatever you want to call it. And there's a combination of truma. The actual cereal is truma. What happens if a tful yom touches the cereal? It becomes pasul. It becomes a shlishi. And we have oil on the top. It's not maple syrup, Rabbi say, it's your imagination. It's oil. Okay? Kacha. The oil is chulin. So we have a mixture of two items. What happens, says the Gemara? Hamikvah shel truma v'ashum v'ashem shel chulin v'nogat tful yom b'miktzason, and a tful yom that just came out of the mikvah. He has a little bit of tumah in him, but not too much. Pasal is kulon. Why? Because most of it is truma. So we view this entire bowl as truma, and he touches it, it becomes pasal. It becomes a shlishi. It becomes pasal. Mikvah shel chulin, the same exact case, but in reverse. The cereal part, 99% of it is chulin. And if a tful yom touches chulin, what happens? Nothing. But there's a little bit, tiny bit of truma on top. What should be the halacha, Rabbi say? Nothing. But that's not true. So we have a big chiddush here. He touched a little bit. Wherever he touched, that becomes tameh. Why in the world? If you consider it truma, then the whole thing should become pasul. If you consider it chulin, nothing should become pasul. So what's this business that wherever you touch becomes pasul? Partial to? Yeah. The truma is less than a kazayis. Why should it be pasul where you touch? The cereal is all chulin. So why in the world will it become pasul? If a person, what did I say? Sorry. Truma is allowed to be eaten by a kohen. But if a Yisrael eats the truma part, that oil, whatever, he's going to get malchus. Now, what comes out over here is that oil and the garlic doesn't mix, doesn't become bottle to the actual cereal. And Mimela, when a Zar eats it, he's chayiv. So therefore, says the Gemara, when the tful yom touches it, he makes it pasul. Why? Because the truma is not bottle anywhere. You don't consider the truma chulin, it's truma. But we're machmir to say that the entire thing should become pasul. So what we did is, we do in between. Since it's not bottle, we make some of it pasul, but not all of it pasul. We can't ignore the fact that he touched it and not make anything pasul. So we say whatever he touched becomes pasul. Very interesting. Says the Gemara, my timing. But why does he get malchus over here? Says the Gemara, he didn't eat a kazayas. You hear the kasha? Why should a guy get 39 lashes when he didn't even eat kazayas? He ate cereal. He ate a spoonful of kazayas worth of cereal with a little bit of oil on top. He touched the cereal, it's mixed in over there. Yeah. If he touched the shemen, okay, but I'm saying it's mixed in. Yeah. And this is talking about that the shemen is truma. Yeah. The cereal is chulin, and there's a little bit of truma, less than a kazayas. Less than a kazayas of truma. And he touched it, it's pasul, and he ate it, he's chayiv for eating it. My time, eyes, less than a kazayas. Lav mishum, the hetem and starve lister. Oh. So over here you must say that the reason why he's chayiv is because when he ate a whole spoonful of porridge together with the oil, there's a little bit of oil that's also for him to eat because it's tameh, and there's a lot of cereal, and together it's like a piece of bread and wine together. So over here you have cereal and you have the cereal and you have the liquid oil, and that together is mitzaref to gazais. That's why he gets malchus. So you see that's not only in the zeros. You see that this happens also in other places, in Truma. Yeah, Kasher Ravdini. Omar lei loy. We'll do sponsors in a second. Omar lei loy. So the Gemara understood that he only ate one spoonful of cereal. One spoonful, I'm just saying spoonful. He ate one kazayas worth of cereal, and in that cereal there's a little bit of truma. So you have a little bit of isser, a lot of heter, and together it's mitzvah to one kazayas, and that's why he gets 39 lashes. So says the Gemara, no, a new pshat. So pshat number one is like the first words on the Amud, heter mitzvah lisser. Why does this guy get malchus? Because we're going to go back and forth a little bit. Why does the guy get malchus? Because there's a full kazayas here. It's not all aser in the kazayas. There's some heter, there's some but together it's a kazayas. No, a completely different pshat. My kazayas, the kazayas b'dei achilas pras. Check this out. This, let's say, represents iser, tuma. This is the cereal, it's the heter. So now you go like this, bunch it together. How much of this do I have to eat? I have to eat, says the Gemara, a kazayas of the red. In order for me to be over, I'm eating a kazayas of the red. But it's all mixed in together with the green. So what do? If a guy wants to be over, he wants to be mikayim mitzvah avera of eating the oil part of the cereal. So how much cereal does he have to eat? Enough cereal that contains a kazayas of oil. But in how much time? 3 hours, one shot, one gulp, one swallow. So that we have the famous concept of kedei achilas pras. Pras means a half a loaf of bread, which equals 4 eggs. And however long it takes a human being to eat a half a loaf of bread, call it 3 to 9 minutes, whatever, 3 to 6 minutes, something like that. In whatever the minutes are, 5 minutes, call it 5 minutes. If he could eat this entire mixture, cereal, together with the kazayas of oil, in that amount of time, then he's over the avera. If you have to eat a kazayas matzah, do you have to eat it, throw it down your throat in one shot? Or you could eat it over a 4-hour period? The answer is, you have to eat it b'chdei achilas pras. You have to eat it in the amount of time that it takes you. You can take 25 bites, you could chew as long as you want, but it has to be within the 5 to 6 minutes, whatever the share of b'chdei achilas pras. Some say even 3 minutes. Okay, so that's what he means over here. Don't say that he ate one kazayas total, and in that one kazayas there was a little bit of isser. No, he ate a lot of kazasim, that in those a lot of kazasim there's one kazayas of oil, but I'm telling you a chiddush, it has to be within achilas pras. The achilas pras deraisa, you tell me he gets malchus. He gets 39 lashes, that's only on something that's is deraisa. Omalayin, yes, the concept of achilas pras is concept deraisa. Yachi, amai pligi rabbanon alei. So then where do rabbanon have the right to argue on that concept of deraisa? Where do they argue? Oh, my favorite. Oh, the Reb Eli b'kuta chabavli. So you thought I was going to bring kuta chabavli? No. Here's kuta chabavli. It's a new one. I could have brought a lot of things. No, we're going light on the oilam. We don't want to bore the oilam with the same video, the same thing. Here it is. It says on it, certified noir va'ayam Reb Eli's kutach. Okay, Reb Eli's kutach. Fine. Kuta chabavli. The what? That if a person eats kutach, you see the mixture, kutach is made from sour milk, I think, something like that. Let's call it sour cream, together with moldy bread, older bread. Now there's bread in the mixture. If a person eats that on Pesach, Chacham says not over, chametz, not chametz. There's a lot of bread in there. And if he ate a full kazayas of bread in the kutach within kedei achilas pras, you're telling me that within kedei achilas pras, if he eats that isser, then you're over. Okay, so you ate within achilas pras, within 6-7 minutes, a guy is using, what do they use? They use a sour cream dip, whatever it's called. There was a shir in I forgot what city, that they actually brought kutach and they were all dipping, they actually sell it. So it's a product that they sell, kutach. They're all making these faces, fine. But it's a dip. How much dip could you eat? That's what the Gemara is going to go in it. L'chayra, in the shir of Kedei Achilas Pras, l'chayra, he ate a bunch of it that he got some bread, which was a kazayis of bread on Pesach. He should be over chametz on Pesach. So why do Rabbanan argue on this concept? Even if you eat kutach for 9 minutes straight, you're not going to get a full kazayis of bread. Why? If he gulps it down, if he gulps it down, like there's a few mishugayim out there that eat, ketchup, plain ketchup, gulp down ketchup. They're not normal. Some of your kids probably do it. Whatever. It's batla daito yetzel koladam. We're not talking about mishugayim here. And what if he does do it? Okay, fine. Either the Gemara is not talking about such a case, or even if he does it, he's not over because he's a meshugana. We're not talking about shuftana. Who's going to drink down? I mean, unless you're one of these goyim in a bar that has to show off, whatever. Who's going to drink? They drink laundry detergent, shkoyach. But who's going to drink or eat this nasty thing that's meant for like a little bit of a flavor, like schug? You're going to eat a whole container of schug? No, it's for dipping. And if you're going to dip it, you can do it all day long. You're not going to get to kazayas. With the shear of whatever many minutes that is. Sponsor. Hatzlacha of Eli ben Aliza Simcha Shena Masha ben Aliza Simcha Shena Masha bat Bracha. Hatzlacha for the Magid, the members of the HBA group and their families. Amen. So finally, I get to use this. I got this from Yochanan Itzkowitz. This is a meducha, a mortar with the MDY. You put spices in here and you go like this. They still use it till this very day. So you have this. This we're gonna because it's MDY. So this is Kaddish. This one I found in the house that I was once renovating. This is an older one. Okay, this is not so Kaddish. You have two meduchas. Achas shetruma, v'achas shechulin. In front of him he has two pots. Okay, they match up. Now we don't know which one is what, but it's one for one. For this spice bowl, you have one pot of truma. For this spice bowl, which is chulin, you have one pot of chulin. And there was a mix-up, and the wife came in, and she didn't chap, and she started poured a whole one into one pot, and another whole one into another pot. Shtei mutaris. The halacha is they're both pots are mutter. We assume that Shani Oimer, it's a svara. Chulin aflu, truma aflu. As the Gemara is pras. So if this idea is the rice that if I eat the entire pot with the spices within a certain amount of time, I'm over the Isser Deraisa. I was over on eating Truma when I shouldn't be over. How could I be Mako? How can I say I assume? Can't assume something in a Isser Deraisa? Elamai. So the Gemara, so then he turns back. He says, that's a very good question. But what's the alternative? The alternative is to explain it in your way. What's your way? Heter mitzaref l'Isser. I'm saying back, what? No. Truma is only about the 1 in 100. 100. So in a Kedei Achilas Pras, in 4 minutes he ate 100 times. You know how much soup that is? No. It's only bottle if it's 1 in 100. It's not bottle. It's not bottle. It's not bottle. It's way too much. You eat too much. Huh? What? Then it'd be over. Okay, whatever. Talk later. Elamai had there mitzvah l'Isser, but you like your pshat better. Amay amrina shani oimer. Wait a minute. If spices of truma fell into chulin, then you have Isser and Heter, and it should be mitzvah. So it also should be a problem. Either way you look at it, you have a problem. Says so here's the pasuk. Reishis, what? Reishis the gancha tiroishcha vitzarecha. The gancha, wheat, tiroishcha, grapes, vitzorecha, and your olives, in other words, your wine and your oil, titan loy. That's the chiyuv d'oraisa is those three products only. So spices are not included, and memela and the Rabbanan, we're not going to be machmar on him. We're going to shani oimer. I'm going to assume the right one fell into the right pot. Says the Gemara, huh? Correct. Ask the Gemara, Esvei. But here I have a case of d'oraisa, and how come I say it over there? Shtei kupois. I have two boxes. Now, a box is very large. Same idea as we said a second ago, but now we're talking about d'oraisa because we're talking about wheat. And wheat, you said, is d'oraisa. You have two smaller vessels containing wheat. One is chulin, one is truma. In front of two giant boxes, hundreds of pounds of wheat, let's say. And one fell into the other. Shnei mutarin, the same exact idea. Shani oimer. Here again, we invoke the svar. Shani oimer. Chulin te chulin naflu. Truma te truma nafla. V'yisok edatach kezayis b'chdei achilas pras osur. Amayim rein shani oimer. And over here, it's a d'oraisa, so you can't answer your answer. Shloima lididi damino mishum dehetem mitzaref l'isur. But according to me, I can understand why. If you're going to the fishi chulin, there's so much chulin, right? The giant box versus the small box. And they're the exact same product. So now you have min b'minoi, it's bottle. Because it's much more. It's the same product. Elo l'didach.
We don't even need to say shani omer.
Yeah. Correct. Elo l'didach d'amris b'shum de'ikik kezayis b'chdei achilas pras. But according to you, you say that the problem is that there's a kezayis and you're eating it within a certain amount of time. So what if there's a lot? It doesn't matter if I got to eat the isser with, even though it's a tremendous amount more, but I fressed it all up within those few minutes, it should be also. Yeah, even though it's wheat, but in our days it's only the Rabbanon. That's why I was making and I say, Shani Oimer, have a wonderful day.